I never felt my voice so clear, never have been so rich in kisses. Now as always it is early, the light is a swarm of bees. Leave me alone with the day, I ask permission to be born. When I'm painting, I automatically drift into a different place in my mind. That place is very open and wide and has memories, it has wishes, it has dreams, has nightmares. We're losing the desert within ourselves, we're losing the jungle in ourselves. The animals on the planet are also losing their habitat, not just the people. And they are refugees as well. I don't see how crazy human beings can be. Chopping down the Amazons, which are our lungs, when what we should be doing is planting thousands of trees. We see every day the results of our damage to the planet. The greed that is devouring beauty is fatal, and the beauty must fight back. I grew up in Mexico City in an area called Coyoacán, and I lived about a few blocks away from Frida Kahlo's house. After school, I used to go get my friend, and we'd go on our bicycles, and we'd go hang out at Frida Kahlo's house. All her most famous paintings were hanging in her house at the time. I remember her paintings clearly from back then, and we used to go into her bedroom and into her studio, and I was looking at her most private life as a child. My mother was also a painter, and then when I was 15, I asked if she would give me her oil paints. So my first paintings I painted with my mother's original paint. Painting for me is a process where my mind just goes wherever it will. I'm focused on what I'm painting, and I'm also constantly traveling my life, basically, and the current moment and my entire life. I feel I discover the painting as I paint it, and the discovery is the most exciting part. A long time I was thinking of the situation in the whole world with people having to leave their countries. So I set out with this very large canvas, it's a linen canvas, to portray the crossings, the borders. And I had a vague idea of what the painting was going to look like. So when I started, the first characters that appeared in the painting were actually the animal. I realized I'm painting the caravan. When Kevin Wary saw the piece when I had just begun, and he saw it, he really saw it, and he said, let's put it at the Bunker Hill Fifield Gallery. First, I was very excited because it's very timely. The piece is about what's going on the planet.
This particular painting I knew was going to be special. The lines, drawings at the very beginning almost told the story, and it was a very unique experience, because the more, I would ask Maddu, so what's this painting going to be about? And she started to tell the story, the history, the real lives, the lived experiences but also the mythology, the mythos of certain cultures that were going to be a part of the painting, and perhaps, I guess, instinctively knew the work was going to, in the end, be a masterwork. I liked these two drawings here, in that there was such a sort of almost intimacy in this corner,
Right.
which I think really helped elevate the sort of message of the piece.
Like the spring grass, we come only to sleep, only to dream. It is not true. It is not true that we have come to live on earth. The people and animals in this painting, three of them are actually real people that I'm representing, and the rest come from series of paintings that I started about 10 years ago, and they have remained as part of the world in my paintings. I call them tigres. These are refugees and spirit companions. Sometimes they are monkeys or monkey-like, monkey-human, and sometimes they are tigers or lions. I'm not sure. They're jaguars, actually. This one's called Madonna, Tigre Madonna, because I think that the wild creatures are no less Madonnas in a nurturing sense than people are. I find them reassuring in a way, sad in many ways, beautiful. The first person that came into this painting is a 6-year-old girl who crossed the border with her father, and within a day she had died. The way I'm painting her is surrounded by lions and what I call my tigre characters, whom I love and who are the four-legged refugees. And they're her spirit guides and protectors on this journey where she set out to come to the north. And I try to imagine what she imagined the north was, what she imagined she was going to. I want to portray the magic of the journey in and of itself, but also the magic that she felt coming to the dream, you know, the long-awaited coming with her daddy. I feel like her eyes are there, her expression, her spirit is there. I love the spiritual parts, creatures in the painting. I have a figure that could be from the inframundo, from the underworld. Could be death itself. A certain reality, all these spirits and creatures were accompanying her on this really very difficult journey. And then Oscar Alberto Martinez Ramirez and his little daughter of 23 months decided to cross the Rio Grande to the US border in Mexico. And the little girl jumped in the water after her father, but then the current dragged them both and they drowned. My purpose is not to show the grief or the tragedy. My purpose is to show all these people that are coming, seeking refuge in the United States.
As we saw the painting develop, there was a real connection that the artist had with the subject, which I found to be very unique. It was as though Maddu was having a dialogue, a very personal conversation with the figures, both real and imagined, both historical and both mythic. And I found that there are things that would emerge in the painting over time. There are things that would then become submerged. It was very exciting to go through line drawings, to see these visceral colors appear on the canvas over the months, to really witness Maddu's creation and creative process of characters changing, coming in or out of the canvas. The final result is something I hadn't really seen till the end. It was very close to exhibition time, and we had to roll that canvas up. And just the day before the installation,
Mother Earth is dark, and inside I am dark too. I am like a well in whose waters the night leaves its stars and treads on alone in the fields. It's that I have lived so much that I want to live just as much again.
in the show, the way the show was hung, a kind of story in and of itself that worked around the gallery, starting with creation and ending with an empty landscape. And at the center of this story is this painting, the painting of the people, the painting of the historical and dream characters of the culture, and also of the landscape. You can see the mountains in the background. So it was, in its cinematic appeal, both real and unreal.
When I had just started this piece, the piece was about refugees and started in the Middle East, actually in Syria. At one point, I decided to stop, that this was the bad painting. But there was enough there and enough here that I kept going. I became part of the migration journey with Jacqueline and Oscar and all the creatures.
We have many students from Central America and from Mexico who immediately identified with this painting, could see themselves, their lived experiences, their family, their culture reflected very deeply and very profoundly in the work.
It's emotional for all of us after going through this whole process.
Scolded, it makes me sad. I feel like crying.
Yeah, I know, right? I see this painting being shown in other places and eventually getting to a museum. But I would like it to continue because it really speaks to people. I think it brings people on the brink facing the immigrants, and they're not imaginary, they're real people.
She was able to have us look more closely, to understand more deeply what she as an artist was intending. And I think that our community, our students, our faculty and staff were very grateful to have this show, and we feel very honored.
Right now I'm sitting in an empty space. My paintings have been banished from this gallery, like the immigrants at the border.
We send prayers to the youth of tomorrow. May they inherit a better earth.
I don't know who's worse off, the animals on the planet or the people on the planet. Maybe people think that they're gaining something with their greed, but in fact, I think they're losing. So my next step is going to be to put in a dog, because in our mythology in Mexico, the dogs, when you die, take you across the river. Whether it's to hell or to paradise.
Ya ha hey ya hey ya ha hey ya hey hey ya mitke wa ne o hey o show no hey no hay ya mitke wa ne o hey o show no hey no hay ya ya ha hey ya hey ya ha hey ya hey 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 ya ha mitke wa ne o hey o show no hey no hay ya mitke wa ne o hey o show no hey no hay ya ya ha